Hello, I'm Dick Myers, and I'd like to welcome you to the National Salute to the U.S. military. During recent operations, you've seen the best of America's young men and women respond to terrorism and oppressive regimes. They fought valiantly to defend our freedom and to extend that freedom to others. It is fitting to remember the thousands who selflessly served in harm's way and those who continue to serve every day. Operation Tribute to Freedom is a series of community-sponsored patriotic events designed to recognize the efforts of these great people and the sacrifices of their families. I want to thank all Americans for their support of our military. America is proud of those who serve her, and I'm honored to serve with them.
Our dad's coming home, and it's really a big thing for us.
The only thing I could do is just pray that they'd all make it fine.
I can't believe he's actually coming home. It's wonderful, and I'm excited.
I want my husband, my kids want their dad.
I think all of us can be proud of what they've done and be proud of who we are as Americans.
It's such an emotional experience to meet these young people and to realize that they're fighting for us and fighting for their comrades who are next to them and doing it with precision and loyalty and honor. They're the best of America. They're our heroes.
American people give us this equipment. They give us these airmen. That's their sons and daughters. We try to do our best to take care of them and make sure they're trained and ready, and they were. I'm very, very proud of our people.
This is your United States military. We're honored to serve America, to make the contributions that we have, because we all have the same thing at heart, and that is the preservation of the finest nation in the world.
I'd like to thank all our citizens for the great support for our young men and women in uniform, because in a democracy, you can't have a strong military unless the people, the citizens, support that.
People are indeed our most precious resource. Without them, the best equipment in the world has no value. They are the ones who make a big difference.
Seemed like the day would never come.
There's no better feeling than to be here right now.
Welcome to the 2003 McDonald's Air and Sea Show, a national salute to the United States military. Hello, everyone. I'm Dick Crippen. Welcome to Fort Lauderdale Beach. Again with me this year is retired Brigadier General Gibby Vartan. And Gibby, over the past 8 years of this show, we've talked about the wow, gee whiz factor of what we've seen.
Yes, we've seen a lot of the best, but this year I think the men and women of the U.S. military demonstrated how you use this stuff, and that's what gave us the big edge in Iraq.
We're talking water, we're talking air, and we're talking some names that'll now be a little bit more familiar to people, like A-10s, for instance.
That's correct. And, of course, we have the B-2 and the B-1. All of these airplanes and equipment that we used on the water and on the land really came through for us.
The crowd is gathered here in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and they have turned their eyes skyward. For there, the U.S. Army Golden Knights are disembarking from their aircraft, first in free flight and then under parachutes. Now, one of the parachutes has the Stars and Stripes in tow. They are being circled by the Red Baron Squadron. It is an awesome sight of red, white, and blue as we start this national salute to the United States military. Following the arrival of the flag from Homestead, 482nd Fighter Squadron and F-16 flyby. We start our show with the F-18 Hornet.
It's an all-weather fighter, an attack aircraft, a workhorse for the U.S. Navy, and it supplements the F-14 in defending the fleet. This aircraft did a lot of hard work in Afghanistan and in Iraq in close air support.
And Gibby, one thing we're going to talk about with every one of the fighters that we see today is the tremendous maneuverability of these aircraft.
Well, fighter pilots will tell you that speed is life, but maneuverability is part of that equation.
The F-18 Hornet of the United States Navy. What a sight to see. We're going to continue with more exciting action on the McDonald's National Salute to the United States military, so stay with us.
We talk about the greatest generation. I think that these young men and women are writing a new chapter of what the greatest generation is going to become. They can do anything, and they've proven it.
This McDonald's Air and Sea Show special is proudly presented by McDonald's and by the United States Marine Corps. The change is forever. Well, the fans are getting a special treat. This is the only original PT boat that was actually used in the military service that is still in operation today, and it operates out of Key West, Florida. Sort of out with the old and in with the new, this is the F-117 Nighthawk. It is a stealth aircraft.
And it's the beginning of the stealth technology and the effective delivery of precision-guided weapons. You'll notice the angular surfaces and the black coating, which are designed to absorb and reflect radar waves from hostile radar installations.
When you look at this aircraft coming at you, it looks like a frisbee on the horizon, and all of a sudden it's there. You don't even hear it. The sound is all behind it.
Yes, it is. And you'll notice the flat exhausts in the back, which are to dissipate the heat signature.
Now, one of the most important elements of the war in Iraq recently were the reserve units. This is the 920th Air Rescue Wing, which is a reserve unit out of Patrick Air Force Base. And Gibby, more than ever before in history, I think we found out the importance of the reserve units that were highly trained and ready to go when called on.
And they're just back from Iraq with their HH-60s with a distinguished record in combat rescue. 17 of 27 unclassified saves, and we don't know how many others they participated in. I think one of the unique things about our forces are the need to rescue our downed airmen and our trapped troops.
And it was a job well done, and when they come back, they go back to their jobs, which literally they represent just about every vocation in American life.
In the reserves, you have a lot of guys that are just normal pilots with the airlines. You have guys that work in restaurants. They have guys that are like myself that are in law enforcement, fire department, across the board. And when it comes time, like this moment in our life, 9/11 happened, we pulled together and our unit set up and we went to Iraq and we did our job.
We could not have done the operations and the way we did them in Iraq without the reserve force. All the services required them. As a result of the Cole attack, we learned a lot of lessons. We had to ramp up very quickly the kind of protection and anti-terrorist actions that we had to do. We couldn't have done it without the reserves. So they've been extremely valuable to us.
46% of the Department of Defense manpower is in the Guard and Reserve. And we share that manpower with our employers. And it's important that we cooperate and work together so that our country is defended and that the employers get the best employees that they possibly can. And that's what our military provides.
Our freedom is preserved because of their sacrifice. And this is one way McDonald's is representing to all of America how much we appreciate what happens in our local communities.
People are your greatest asset, no matter what successful company you're involved in. And veterans, reservists are good people. And they cannot be penalized if they're going to protect our freedom and protect my business.
I don't see myself as a hero. The heroes are still back there. and some of the heroes didn't make it. Those are the real heroes.